Hello everyone, welcome again to another episode of D&D. So, where we last left our adventurers, you all had just gotten a mission from none other than Volo himself to save a friend, his friend Floon. And after some thorough investigation, you managed to find Floon, who was mistaken for Raynar Neverember. I think I'm saying that right. It's probably wrong, but let's keep going. Who was mistaken for Raynar. You find Raynar. He helps you find Floon in the sewers. You all posed as dung sweepers to get ale from a nearby tavern that linked directly to the Xanathar Guild hideout. And once you were inside the hideout, you had an unusual amount of trouble trying to kill one goblin. And and you walked through a secret passageway, effectively skipping like 40% of that dungeon, and you run straight into the boss room, and you find an intellect devour, an orc, and a mind flayer. Fortunately, the mind flayer did not want to stick around, which is a good thing, because you guys would have not realistically killed that thing.
He was just scared.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
And technically, I fell into the room.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, you fell into the room, and you were left to fight with the orc and the intellect devourer. After getting the orc on your side for like a total of maybe 5 seconds, the intellect devourer takes him over. And after you kill the body that held the intellect devourer, his head exploded, and you fought the intellect devourer proper. It was a very intense battle. And
let's not forget.
Yes, John was brain dead for the rest of that day.
Isn't he always brain dead, though?
More brain dead than usual.
I'd say brain comatose, because your brain didn't actually die. It would have died if the thing jumped in.
It probably would have boosted his intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
You're not wrong. Hell, you could have convinced the thing to join your side, and then John would have just gotten an intelligence boost.
Oh, missed opportunity.
That would have been an interesting campaign.
Would have been hard to explain to the wife.
Will she know the difference?
It's occupational hazard. So you return to Volo with Floon. He thanks you all, but really instead of paying you, he gives you a house instead, which used to be a tavern, which used to be a proper house. So I think, based on what you guys were saying last week, you want to turn it into a tavern again. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, and you all leveled up, and last week we dealt with the leveling up situation. So we are back. We are in Troll Skull Manor. Well, that's where we left off. What would the party like to do now that they are in their new semi-dilapidated tavern?
I think John will at least try to look around. He'd be a bit disappointed because he wants money, not this old, smelly
To be
building.
fair, you guys are kind of loaded right now.
Yeah, I still have a lot of money in the group. And also, don't forget that I made John believe that it was his fault we got this building.
Oh yes, so he's very disappointed in himself as well.
Yes, so you are now in Troll Skull Manor, former tavern, former manor. Okay, so you're going to check out the room. By the way, it is around noon-ish. We'll say that like the whole registration process and signing over the warrant just took you just the better part of the morning. So you are in an area more or less called Troll Skull Alley, which links directly to Troll Skull Manor, but there are certain shops and such around your tavern, so it is a very convenient place to be. It is much better compared to other spots you've been in Neverwinter as of late, though you do notice the lack of tavern, which is the tavern that you're currently in.
My character will probably be hanging the troll skull from the original fight above the door outside.
Okay, so you So you
We're
get,
already renovating.
Yes. So you get some ropes, or maybe in your case, maybe some sinew you harvested
Oh, yeah,
from an
we'll
enemy
get
at
that.
some point. It's functional. You tied it up by the entrance. It's very fitting. Very, very fitting. It takes you maybe about 10 minutes just to get it just right. But it is a nice addition.
Yes.
So can John like inspect the building, like check to see how
Yes.
damaged it, how
This is
bad
mostly
it is?
just the main floor, but you have a feeling that this sort of condition is consistent throughout the tavern. All of the furniture is pretty much broken. It will have to be replaced. You find some casks of wine that have been there for so long they might as well be vinegar now.
Don't we call that
disappointed.
vintage?
Super vintage. Most of the rooms, the bedrooms that is, are just completely empty except for thick layers of dust and cobwebs. The notes also tell me that there is worthless detritus. I'm not sure what that is. I will have to look up the
Detritus is
definition
just
to that.
basically random
Just
odds
rubble.
and bods, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
then there's that.
It's
Worthless
mostly
detritus.
waste,
Does
organic
the entire
waste.
party know that, like, certain members want to renovate this? Has your party discussed this at all? You have just arrived.
I don't think we have discussed any of it.
Or do you want to have a better look at it first?
But like my guy's, he's decorating the place. He's like, oh yeah, this seems like fun.
Okay.
But he doesn't say anything per se. He just
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's cleaning up the place. So other than that, there isn't anything else to mention about the tavern. It's just everything's empty. You will have to renovate. You will have to clean up. So you find the tap room right there. You find a basement hatch, which is by the counter. Next to the counter is the pantry. Completely empty except for maybe a few spiders.
how big are these spiders?
They're not alarmingly big. We're talking like, very tiny. Not even the size of a copper. Maybe like a quarter
Oh
of a
no,
copper.
and then I won't bother eating them.
Not enough nutritional
No.
value.
Actually, roll me a perception check.
Who? Who needs to roll a perception?
Bone carver, since you were cleaning up.
Okay. Perception's probably not my strong point. No, well...
You notice that there's like one section that stands off a little bit. The layer of dust on the counter is significantly thinner than everywhere else in the tavern. You also notice a moldy rag on the corner of the room.
By the way, can I throw a piece of broken stool at the carpet?
Throw a piece of broken stool at who?
The carpet. The moldy carpet in the corner.
And it was a moldy rag.
Yeah, rag.
Not a carpet.
Oh, a rag. You mean like what
but
you
yeah, you
use for cleaning stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't throw a piece of wood at a rag. A carpet, sure. A rag. So, I'm not that great on English architecture, so what are carrots?
I have no idea.
Okay, good.
Dictionary!
Dictionary time.
It's kind of the very upper attic bedrooms, probably with like sloping ceilings.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Very small, uncomfortable room at the top of the house. So yeah, that is the room that is part of the actual roof thing. What you said, Amy. Basically. Okay.
So you notice a lot of bedrooms, private bathrooms, of course all of them empty.
We have ensuite rooms.
Yes, there should be enough room for all of you to sleep here and to have guests in there. You even find a library and study. Most of the books though are ruined beyond repair, so you might have to restock that.
Fair enough.
What's this square on the first floor with the notch taken out of it? It's just above and slightly to the left of where it says tap room. Is that
It's
what
like
it
a
is?
fireplace?
This thing?
I'd guess a
Yes,
fireplace.
Okay.
Because it sort of looks like it'll line up with
Yeah, it does.
other
doesn't
similar
it?
things in the
Yeah.
other floors.
Yeah, probably. Like, frankly, these are just like doodles and we can say whatever that we want they are.
They're dragon summoning portals.
inside a tavern. Now that sounds like a good idea.
Well, is that just me?
It's no worse than having a massive pit in the middle of your tavern, is it?
That's true.
I know, right?
You've just explored the tavern. You guys feel like you have some downtime for now. You can use that to look up, maybe get estimates on how much money you'll need to fully restore the tavern, or get some equipment if you want. Maybe take a break from your adventuring for maybe a little bit. It's all up to you guys.
I would definitely like to know how much we'd need to spend on the tavern. I feel like we have to spend money to make money, and Dare is all about making money.
Bonecarver agrees, but also confides that he has absolutely no idea how all of that works. He's happy to help with work and labor, but for right now, he's going to sit in the corner and chisel away at a little piece of, not chisel, use a dagger to carve a piece of bone. And John, you would definitely recognize it as the rib from the goblin.
Marek's not keen on doing any labour, but he's going to go find some quotes.
Okay.
So what?
And he was quite keen to fill the ale cellar.
Fair enough.
Okay.
John just sits down next to Bonecarver, and he looks very disapprovingly at the goblin bone, the goblin rib, and then he sighs and says, "Well, at least this man is big. I'll give him that."
Yeah, Bonecarver just nods because he's really focused on carving. Do you actually look at what I'm carving, or just glare at disappointedly?
I just glared at it once and then ignored it. John seems very deep in thought, if that's possible. Yes, something seems
Okay,
off.
for how long does that last?
Well, okay, he turns towards Bonecarver and says, "Look, I'm sorry I got us into this. I've never been that drunk."
You see Bonecarver just pause. And just a second, I'm going to roll a conscious check. Nope! And just continues on. Like, don't
So
worry
you
about it.
you rolled a 3.
Yeah, I basically thought if I was going to roll 10 or lower, I was going to continue with the line, and 11 or higher, I was going to tell the truth. And I rolled a 3.
You have no conscience.
I do, I just... No, actually I don't.
That's up for debate. Okay, so even though there's no beds in the rooms, you guys can safely use maybe some bedrolls or something. That's just something to keep in mind when nighttime approaches. Okay, so Amy Dare and Merrick. As you're walking around, you're looking at the various shops. You notice that a lot of the shops are pretty much what you need to renovate your tavern. They pretty much have most of the stuff you'll want. You notice a furniture store called the Bent Nail, and you see a bent nail on a sign, along with like just the rest of the name just right there on top of the store. It's pretty it stands out a little bit, and you get a few prices from there. As you enter, you notice a lot of wooden furniture, even a few sculptures, and strangely enough, you see also like some wooden shields, a few weapons that look like they could be realistically just like only wood. You see a few quarterstaffs and such. You notice you're greeted by a half-elf, and he appears to be the carpenter and the proprietor of this store. You talk to him for a little bit, ask about his rates, what kind of stuff he can provide. He gives you a price. Really, I only have the price of what it's like to renovate everything in the tavern, so we'll talk about that later. Let's just say he gives you a price.
Okay.
You go to the smith. You notice the name. It's called Steam and Steel. And you see smoke billowing from the many windows out of this indoor forge. You see mostly weapons, but you also see tools, and you see a pair of genasi.
Excuse me?
For those of you, you see a pair of genasi inside the forge. As you as they enter the Steam and Steel, that's what it's called. You see 2 genasi, 1 fire and 1 water genasi. Those of you who do not know what a genasi is, it's a creature, normally humans, that are touched by elemental magics, and so they get these features associated with those elements. So you notice a fire genasi, and he's basically he looks human, but his hair just kind of has this otherworldly glow about it, and his skin is just a very deep red color. And next to him is another genasi. This person has a more graceful appearance to him, and his skin is a very deep blue. You see the water genasi introduce himself as the fire genasi is working on the forge. He introduces himself as Avi, and he introduces his husband Embrick, who is working the forge, who is currently busy at the moment. By the way, if you want to just chime in on conversation with the proprietors at any time, just let me know. I'm just kind of going through all this stuff because there's quite a few shops here.
Okay.
But yeah, they do mention that basically they can make weapons, they can make tools, anything that you might need that is metal related for your tavern when you bring up renovating it.
Okay.
You're uncertain if a potion trader will be very useful for your tavern, but you decide to go anyway. The proprietor introduces themselves as Fala Lefalir, and what are they? It doesn't say what race they are. I don't see it. It says they're elven. Okay, so you notice this elf. They are of very androgynous features, but basically they're a herbalist and they sell potions. So any potions here that you would like to buy, they have available. Potions do tend to be on the pricey side of things, so you keep that in mind while searching for other things. You notice, let's see, 2 more shops in the area, though one is not so much of a shop as it just provides a service. It's called the Tiger's Eye. You've sort of heard about it. It's a private detective business. You know nothing about the detective in question, but you've heard about it in passing. Whether or not you want to go in right now or at a later time is up to you. And the final store is Bookworm's Treasure, and you notice from the window is a gold dragonborn moving around books. Do any of you want to look into these shops or move on?
None of those sound useful immediately, but might be worth keeping in mind.
Okay.
Yep, I'd agree
Same with
that.
Dare?
Yep.
Okay. So, as going from shop to shop and just getting estimations for completely renovating the tavern, you find that it will set you back about 1,000 gold, and restoring the whole tavern will take about 12 days. However, you know that you do not need to restore everything at the same time, and you could start earning money by just maybe renovating the tavern part, and then moving on to renovating the inn sections and renting out rooms at a later point in time.
Okay.
So if you choose to, you can renovate, let's say, just the tavern portion, just restock the ale, get new wines and spirits and such, and get new furniture for the first floor at 450 gold.
Uh-oh.
Just out of curiosity,
I wished.
by the way, there isn't that much room for an inn, so where would we sleep if we...
You do have a lot of rooms. There are 3 floors, so the second 2 rooms would probably be where all the inn rooms are. Most of them are in the 3rd room, I believe, but they are scattered around the tavern. There is a master bedroom with its own private bathroom, and you could repurpose some of the other rooms for personal rooms of your own. And there is a bedroom in the attic. There's storage in the attic, which could be repurposed for a bedroom. And there is a tower with a turret peak, I think it says. There's a label blocking most of it there. I'm not sure where you'll get a turret, but if you have a turret, you can put it there. So you're free. We're free to assume that, let's just say, there is enough room for you guys and several rooms to rent out for potential patrons at a later point in time.
It seems like the turret peak you can only access via the bedroom on the 3rd floor.
Looks like it, yeah.
Dibs on the bedroom.
Dibs on the turret. Bonecarf will be fine just sleeping in the turret alone.
Yeah, but you'd have to pass through that
Hey,
bedroom.
may I remind you that I am one of the most stealthy characters usually in this room. Except when I'm trying to enter a boss room. Just, you know.
Well, then it's good it's not located in the master
Well,
bedroom.
Marek's going to go back to the merchants and try and negotiate the prices down a bit. 'Cause
Okay. Roll persuasion, and we'll see how much can be marked down.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
23.
Okay. So, with a fair bit of haggling, so long as you pay for the furniture that day, renovating the tavern portion would take you only 380 gold.
Given how much we currently have, that sounds like a bargain to me.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do it.
You also have some paintings you haven't sold them.
Yes.
Pretty
Did we
sure.
sell the paintings yet?
No, we didn't sell the paintings. We can put them up in some of the rooms.
Indeed.
Keep them.
We
Give
could
the
say
place a
that
bit of
removes.
It's
We could say that removes some of the price of decorating.
it's either 300 gold pieces or 4 paintings to hang somewhere and then have to defend against rowdy in goers. So there's that. I mean, if the paintings were like 10 gold pieces each, I'd be totally for it. But
Depends how classy this
I mean-
establishment is going to be.
yeah, that's true. But Bonecarver really isn't classy at all. Let's not even pretend. So he doesn't care. He doesn't know. He doesn't art.
John doesn't know
So-
anything about art, so he doesn't know the value. So he's like, yeah, I put him up. No problem.
No, Bonecarver is an artisan, so he knows about value and stuff, but he doesn't value it. If you get drift, so he knows what it's worth, but he doesn't care.
Actually,
He's
couldn't
like.
I was just wondering, couldn't you carve like all the decorations for the inn?
Actually, if they
Out
were made
of
out of
what?
bone or wood, I could. I could,
Right.
yeah.
No, that's a real troll skull manor in tavern.
Are you gonna give it like a whole tribal theme?
I could actually, because I am a leather worker and I can carve bone.
All the chairs gonna be made of bone. You need to find a significant amount of bodies
It'd
for
be cool
that.
though. It's like this stool was made from an orc, and this stool was made from 3 goblins. And this stool. That's a project.
Should have
Yes.
kept more of that. We should have kept more of the troll.
Yeah.
With some big
Yeah,
bones.
that would have been a few very good stools.
Dare object to this decorating scheme.
Bonecarver is very sad.
We
I
could
think
do
that
a
would be
fish
probably
meat.
be the first time you've actually seen him sad.
Well, we've got it down to 380. What do you guys think about that for now? We'll
380 gold
get it done.
is a lot of
You guys
money.
have 750 right now.
We have 750. We have another potential 300 if we sell the paintings rather than use them. It's not even half of what we've got.
If it avoids having everything made out of goblin bone, I will sell the paintings.
Not just goblin bone. There'd be space for troll and orc and human. Everything.
I don't think we
No
should
bones.
use humans and orc and goblins since they might
We
actually
could
disgust
write it on the wall. Sit nicely or we'll sit on your remains.
I am not sure that's going to give us,
We
customers that
could
want to come back.
consider a themed room.
You soft skins are so soft hearted.
Okay.
So hang on. If we have 750 gold plus 300 gold from these paintings minus 380, John looks like he's about to collapse. Someone help him.
Oh no, the Bonecarver's just looking on in amusement.
That's John tries to use his fingers, but he loses it after
We'd have 670 gold. Still.
670.
370 if we don't sell the paintings.
Yes.
That's still a lot.
It's more than you can count on your fingers.
I know this.
And toes.
Okay, so if you want to settle for getting these renovations for at least the first floor, we can get that started right away.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, John just looks around again and says, "We are spending a lot of money on this, and guys, I just wanted to tell you, I am really sorry."
Don't
Just a
worry,
second.
John. You'll make it up to us eventually.
No one's correcting him, and it's great.
For a moment, Bone Carver looks like he's trying to say something, and then the tiefling says that and just sits down again.
That was an 18 on your conscience check.
If Dan hadn't said anything, he would have told you.
Okay, so for the remainder of the day, you guys spend it cleaning the first floor, mainly because you know that's what's gonna be mostly important for the next few days concerning business. The next day, you spend it just making sure all the trash and rubbish and broken remains of furniture are taken out, and you're bringing in the new furniture. So go ahead and subtract 380 gold from your total.
I'll do it.
Okay. Yeah, one person
And-
should be in charge of the
Of finances,
the party loot.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not John.
So you estimate that, like, since you got the initial discount, whatever would be remaining to finish up the rest of the tavern is around 550 gold. That being said, it is going to take a little longer just to get that squared away. Also, if you guys want to save up a little bit more money before you commit to that much gold. So, first day, everything gets cleaned up. Second day, you take out the trash and bring in the new furniture. Third day, you're getting the new wines, a little bit of food for the pantry.
Can Bone Carver be the cook?
I think John will at least stop him. John says, "I can cook a little bit if it's."
Bone Carver just narrows his eyes and like, that I messed up once doesn't mean I mess up every time.
I can't be the cook. I only burn things.
Well, all right. Let's go about it like this. I will select the ingredients so you won't poison us. You cook them.
Fine. But can we at least put up a sign that we are willing to cook everything on request?
As long as you only serve it to the people who give you the ingredients.
Naturally.
Fine.
Okay. So
it's kind
you
of
have
a
your
bring your own food at the moment. That's a theme.
Well, it's optional.
So you set up a sign that has a basic menu. You got like some mutton, chicken, a few greens, a handful of vegetarian options for those that are not keen on eating meat, which is quite a few people out here in Waterdeep.
There will be seafood options.
And
If John's there, if it's up to John.
yes, you are a city by the ocean, so seafood is rather easy to come by. The ingredients for it at least.
With regarding to cooking seafood, I will defer to Tall Tales.
So you get that squared off. You're mostly open for business as long as we're not counting the upper rooms. However, while you're setting things up, you hear a knock at the door.
Bone Carver's
Is anyone gonna
probably
get that?
sorting out the kitchen at the moment, so
John's probably in the pantry or something, so...
So who answers the door? I'm sorry, I might have not heard that.
I'll get it.
It was mostly people saying, "Not it."
yes.
Okay. So, Merrick, you open the door and you notice a rather dashing looking dark elf. He is dressed in mostly purple. You see a feather on his hat. You notice an eye patch, and he regards you with a I wouldn't really say warm smile. It's a little bit of a crooked grin, but you don't really sense any ill intent from it. You just feel like that's the only way he knows how to smile.
Are we open now?
Technically not. Not quite yet. You'll be
Okay.
open tomorrow.
So, hello. What do you want? We're not open yet.
Is his name Krampus?
No. What's your passive perception, Bone Carver?
My passive perception. Let me look that up. Reopening my sheet. Passive perception. Where can I find that? Ah, there it is. 13.
13. Does anyone have higher than a 13?
No.
No.
Where's that? Oh, 10. No.
Okay, then never mind. So you notice the drow is regarding you with a smile of sorts. Good morning. Is this the Trollskull Manor?
Yes.
I'm just trying to see how to pronounce his name. Oh my god.
Good
How did I
luck.
say that? Where's the pronunciation guide? It's here somewhere. Okay, maybe not here.
We've gotten to a point where we need pronunciation guides, just so you can play
Yep.
the campaign.
It'd be great if you just like.
I mean, it's an elf name. Can you blame me?
Fair
Okay,
enough.
here it is. Wait, are you serious? He's not on the list?
Oh.
Why is he not on the list? Oh my god, I'm in trouble. Okay, I'll try to say this. Jarlaxle Benray. Good day, my name is Jarlaxle Benray. I represent my guild, Brigand d'Arth. If I'm not mistaken, you were the group that helped Volo on their particular problem?
Yes.
Well, you see, my employer grew a bit of interest in your group and wanted to see if any of you were interested in doing a bit of work for Brigand d'Arth.
Wait here. Mark shuts the door on him and goes to check with the others.
Uh-huh. People skills.
It's my high charisma. So, do we want to work for someone?
Do the rest of us know who was at the door?
Roll a history, everyone.
History.
I rolled a 12.
Amy, roll it at advantage since you're a rogue and native.
And she's
are
in
you
the
native to
and she's
Waterdeep?
right behind me.
I rolled a 17.
She's
I rolled a 5.
Yeah, Dare, roll one more time just to
Okay,
make sure. In case you crit. Okay.
Was that even?
Okay.
That was even worse.
Yeah, well, advantage has you take the better. So we're just gonna take the 12.
Okay.
Dare, you don't know Jarlaxle Benray, but you have heard whispers of the group Brigand d'Arth.
should I have rolled as well?
Yeah, go for it. Okay, so you know Jarlaxle and Brigand. in a
21
sense.
crits.
I was just talking to him.
Yes.
You just magically know who he is and everything about him.
You know that you've heard this group Brigand d'Arth. You know that they are a little bit on the shady side, and the fact that they call themselves a guild is more just of a formality to seem more appealing to people out in the more law-abiding areas of town. You know Jarlaxle is somewhat of a recruiter. He normally walks around with guards that carry guns with them. However, you know that as far as things go, they don't really treat their members poorly. They do like to be subtle about things. However, you're fairly certain that if they ask you to do anything or request or like have a job for you, you're fairly certain it's not going to be legal.
Okay, I will convey this information.
Okay.
Say this recruiter for a bunch of brigands wants us to do some work for him. Are we interested on our day off? Because we don't open till tomorrow.
Well, what sort of work and what are you offering us?
I should have asked, shouldn't I? I'll go back and get him. Okay, I'll go and let him in.
I guess by this time
Okay.
that both John and me have been notified.
Well, before you
Yes.
let him in, John says, "Wait a bit, Merrick. I don't want any trouble. Do we really want to do something illegal?"
Well, depends on how illegal.
My thoughts exactly.
I think I've been spending too much time with Dare.
You see Jarlaxle stride in. You notice a bit of flamboyance to his step. And he says, "My, this is quite nice, all things considered. This place has been abandoned for some time now. But, let's cut to the chase, shall we? So, let's not color-code it. My faction would like the aid of your services, because you've proven yourselves against the Xanathar Guild. And we know about how that transpired. There's no need to hide anything from us in that regard. We have spies all over the town. And we find that your talents might be just what we're looking for some of our smaller scale.
Smaller scale?
Nothing too extravagant. In fact,
You just come into our own pub and now you're insulting us with small scale?
we need to make sure you're ready for the big leads before, we can give you access to those types of missions. We're offering a membership. Granted, not all of you have to join it. And those that are not part of the faction can assist those who are. So it's a bit of an open invitation.
What's the job?
I do have a job.
Obviously.
However, I do have a job for you right now. He holds up a small slip of paper. However, it is only should you accept to join the faction. It is nothing too extreme. However, we do say that you are free to reject the job even if you are part of the organization. There would be no repercussions to it.
And what would be the advantages of your group?
You'd have a bit of a source of income. We do offer many benefits to those that are with us. Some money can come your way as well. If you ever run into any trouble down the line, be it with the Zents or the Xanathar, we could assist with that as well. We do have a bit of influence in the underground.
Dare heard the word money, so how much money are we talking about?
That will depend on the job and your reputation with our organization.
And what's expected of us if we do join?
You do a few jobs for us every now and then. Like I said, you are free to reject the job if you find it too hot for your tastes. That does happen every now and then. No repercussions will come of rejecting a job. However, you do not expect your reputation to go up unless you actually do work for us. You don't need to give me an answer right now. And if my spies have been correct, other organizations have had their eyes on you. So perhaps you want to think it over. Well, as a show of good faith, I'll leave this job here. And should you choose to go through with it, just give me a call. I'll know you're looking for me. And with that, he heads out of the tavern.
I look at the piece of paper.
Okay, so on the piece of paper, I'm going to copy and paste what it says just so you have.
Yeah, and Bonecarver would read it out loud as he read it.
So what you see is that. And Bonecarver can go ahead and read it out loud if he wants.
Okay. I'd like you to steal a silk handkerchief from a Waterdeepian noble and give it to a tiefling girl who lives in a crate at the corner of Ned Street and Dog Street by the wall. He wants us to do what? To who?
Wants us to steal.
You see, this was what I was talking about. Small scale. This is beneath us. We are respectable business owners now.
Do we know what a Waterdeepian noble is?
It's a noble from Waterdeep.
Ah.
Surely I could just buy her a silk handkerchief and give it to some goblins. Be much easier.
I doubt it is a normal chief.
As you're discussing this, you see
Actually, I was just wondering, does John, since he, frequents the wharf area a lot, does he remember a tiefling girl living in a crate?
Roll history.
History, oh god.
Actually, no. Roll just roll an intelligence
That's the
check.
same as my history roll, basically. I have no proficiency, so that's still a 6.
You're not sure. I mean, there are tieflings in the Wharf District. You've seen them before. You're not sure if any of them are this specific one.
This. John is just confused by everyone starts laughing.
Whilst I would like to know why there's a tiefling living in a crate by the wharf, I think we'd have to be paid fairly well for this. It sounds like it's going to get us mixed up in something we don't want to be a part of.
Stealing from nobles, is that a bad idea?
Well, we profited quite well last time we got mixed up in something we didn't want to be a part of.
That is very true.
John just looks around the tavern and says, "Really?"
So, are you in favour of this, Marek?
I don't know. I'm not very good at stealing. This is basically a job for you, Dare.
Don't all look at me!
Bone Carver is definitely looking at you.
Bone Carver. Roll perception. And Dare, roll perception too.
5.
5. Okay. The tavern looks normal.
Ominous.
That's ominous.
And did you roll perception yet? Bone
Oh no,
Carver?
you just got out. It's a 5.
F5
You
as well,
notice a cat on the window.
Cat?
Yep.
Inside, outside?
It's a white cat. It's outside the window, but you notice that it's staring right at you.
Last time I
stare
tried to
back
get hold of
intently.
a pet, it turned out to be a squid thing that nearly killed me, so someone else can go near that.
John steps outside the tavern and starts shooing the cat away. You're not getting any fish. Get away, get away.
Okay. The cat meows and tries to slip past you into the
John
tavern.
tries to catch it.
Does it ever pass by me?
Let's see. Where's Bone Carver located right now?
He's
I'm not looking
actually
at the map.
at the counter. So he was like leaning over the counter as Jaxel was talking. So he'd be roughly around the pantry, like at the back, like in.
Okay. So John, roll dexterity.
Yeah. Can I actually roll a grapple if I want to catch it?
Let's. For now, roll
Okay.
dexterity, and we'll see if some
That's
grapples.
nice.
Okay. So the cat slips past you into the entrance, and it walks up to the counter, and hops on a stool. It hops on a stool and then to the counter, and it appears to be going straight for Bone Carver.
John
For
grabs a
me or
cat.
for the pantry?
That sounds
Bone
risky.
Carver. It
Any
stops.
animal going near Bone Carver
Yeah.
sounds risky.
It immediately stops before you, Bone Carver. The cat looks at you, and you hear it say in a melodious male voice, "Interested in joining the Emerald Enclave? Come meet us at..." How the hell do I say
Just a
that?
second.
Falconmere in the Southern Ward.
Just a second.
And then
So, does only Bone Carver hear that, or do we all hear it?
everyone in earshot
Okay.
hears that.
If not, John would have attacked the cat.
And where did we have to find it?
The Falconmere Yeah, Falconmere in the Southern Ward.
Oh, that was not how
After
I
that, you
thought
see
it would have been spelled.
Yeah. After that, you see the cat's eyes glow slightly, and then it just kind of shakes its head. It looks at you, Bone Carver, and then it just scurries off into like the higher floors of the tavern.
Bone Carver just
Didn't
crosses
leave.
its arms, looking at the back of the cat like, I appreciate the cat's audacity.
What did you say?
Deliberately did not try and eat the cat.
Back in the
Well, if not, the cat will eat the rats and you will starve.
What was that?
I said if you don't eat the cat, it will eat all the rats and you will starve.
I just stare him down.
John is about as tall as you are. He stares right back.
Go, we have a roll for this.
Staring contest. Dice off.
What?
What would
Okay,
that be?
Both of you roll wisdom.
Joke's on you.
Uh,
Oh.
that's a
Yeah,
wisdom
heavens.
save, actually. You rolled a save.
Oh.
Just saying, I want to beat you with
so
my
you-
9.
Well, my wisdom would be 2 lower, so we both have a 9.
Oh! What happens?
You guys just kind of like step up against each other, and like, John, you press your forehead against Bone Carver, sort of like to taunt him, and both of you are just kind of staring at each other, like half glaring, half staring, not wanting to avert your gaze because you think it would make the other one, it would like be a sign of defeat. And you're like that until someone breaks it up for you. Otherwise, you're there for the next 20 minutes.
Dare doesn't get too close, but she does say, "All right, gentlemen, that's enough. You can swing those appendages later." Does anyone know anything about this Emerald Enclave?
Ooh.
Everyone but Dare roll history. There's gonna be so many history checks today.
Well,
16!
I'm pretty sure John doesn't know anyway.
Okay.
So.
They are a faction. They are a faction of individuals that consists primarily of druids and clerics and rangers as well. They are people who seek to preserve the balance within Waterdeep.
Do I know what they see as balance?
No. You don't know what they see as balance. You do know that they do favor those who have views that fall in line with nature.
Dare says that doesn't sound like it pays very well.
Bone Carver arches an eyebrow at that. Like, it's not always about the money.
So,
Really? Isn't
For me,
it, though?
it's not always about the money. Grabber.
Sometimes it's about eating rats.
I stare her down.
so do these guys have any tenets?
Dare roll no, never mind. It's fine. Not everyone needs to have a staring contest with Bone Carver.
I want to see one between Merrick and Bone Carver.
I do
I just
too.
pick him up and stare at him.
Just holding him in your arms like that. Yeah, but what I was asking was, do these guys have any tenets stating that you have to be a vegetarian or something?
Not
Since
to
you
your
said there were
knowledge.
lots of vegetarians in Waterdeep, so
Do you ask that to us?
Well,
Or...
that's mostly when I mean that, it's mostly because elves don't really eat a lot of meat,
okay.
if any.
Oh, no, that's why this is
And
skinny.
there are quite a few elves. There are quite a handful of races that just don't eat meat. Okay. Okay, so let's say your group takes a little break. It's arriving to the evening, around the evening. Merrick, what does your character do in the evening?
Goes to bed, probably.
Okay, so while you're in bed, or
I'll take the attic bedroom. I don't need the
Okay.
headspace.
That's actually a very good point.
let's say that during buying furniture, you all decided to get beds for yourselves to at least have the beginnings of
Seems
a room.
fair.
While you're in bed, Merrick, you suddenly hear a voice in your head.
Not again.
There's a lot of stuff's happening to you guys.
Yeah?
It's like there's a
You-
recruitment drive going on.
You should really have the spell detect plot hook.
Okay.
Dares claim the master bedroom.
I am not surprised.
So Merrick, this is what you hear, like while you're entering your bedroom, getting ready to sleep. I am Vajar Safar, the Blackstaff. Come to Blackstaff Tower in the castle ward at once. Bring your friends.
I love how these guilds just advertise themselves.
That's it.
Why don't they just use Skywrite? It's so much easier.
You did find the tone a bit insistent, but yeah, you did just receive that message just now.
Okay, I'll roll my eyes and then I'll tell the rest about it in the morning.
Okay.
It's like, oh, not coming straight away.
Okay. Let me see.
We just need someone to come and recruit John now.
Hey, there are so many factions here. I'm trying to go through all of them tonight. Come on, open the. Oh wait, there they are. Dare, as you're setting up your master bedroom, and getting ready to sleep, you notice a familiar sight on your window. You see a paper bird pecking at your window. And you know a paper bird to be a sort of magical message.
Yeah, we've
that,
got one, haven't we?
Yeah, you guys have a few sheets of paper birds.
Okay, I'll open the window.
Okay, it flies in and lands on your hand,
Okay.
and it unfurls into a message.
Okay. Should I read that
And
out
in-
for the audio?
That's up to you if you want to tell it to the party. But also, I'll mention that enclosed are tickets for the entire party to The Fall of Tiamat, an opera sung in Giant, describing the evil dragon queen's defeat at the Well of Dragons.
Dragon racism.
It is a fancy opera.
I don't think Dare is a huge fan of opera, but that is a very tempting offer. Do I have any formal attire?
You have money to buy some.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, I think Dare is definitely considering taking up that offer, and probably not telling the rest of the party about it just yet.
Okay. This is for tomorrow in the evening.
Okay.
And with that, you all go to bed.
Just a moment.
Have a good night's sleep.
How far away would Falconer be?
I have no clue. Let's say it's in walking distance.
Because I think Boncarfer would actually go.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Would he go today or at a different or tomorrow?
He's thinking about tomorrow's going to be the first day of work, so after that's going to be naked. So he's probably going to go today.
Okay, so yeah, you can go in the evening and the night to
Yeah,
Falcon
that
Man.
means you-
So I have claimed the tower, so that means I do pass John,
Yeah, exactly. So John
and I do inform you
sorry?
if you are awake. If you're still awake, I will inform you.
John is awake. Actually, he's not even in his bed. He's just sitting on the floor like he's mulling something over. And he just sees you and asks, "Are you going somewhere, Bonecarver?"
Yes. You see, cats don't speak to me on a day-to-day basis. I am interested in what these folks have to say, so I am going to visit them.
Fair enough. If you see them, please tell them to get the cat out of here. I'm worried that it might eat a fish.
I'll consider it.
Thanks.
Is the cat still inside, by the way?
You're fairly certain it's still there, but you don't know where. It appears to have vanished somewhere. Okay. So let's say, since you're not super familiar with Waterdeep streets...
Well, I do
you
live there.
hire- That's true. Let's say you order a cab regardless.
Yeah, fair.
Because, to be honest, I don't know where Falcomer is in this big map.
Fair enough.
And let's just say you order a cab there. That'll cost you 1 copper.
1 copper piece?
Yes. If it's within the city, it's 1 copper piece.
Okay, that should do.
I
It's
wish we
like
had public
10 to
transport
10,
like
right?
that here.
Yeah. Well, oh dear, that's like 1 gold piece out of my 74 personal gold pieces I have to break down. I have too much gold. Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, this is electrum pieces. Oops.
Okay, so it's so that's where it is. Let's see. It says it's south of the Kolat Towers. Where are the Kolat Towers? I don't know.
We don't have the map, so we can't help looking either. So we can't help looking? Oh,
Yeah, you know what? I'll just move everyone to the map. We'll just say it's somewhere in the city.
yeah. Because I can't even find the south ward.
No, I can't.
No, I can't.
Oh wait, here it is.
Where?
There's the Kolat Tower, so it's
Ah.
a block south of there.
Okay.
You find the compound. You notice that the entrance is... Okay, so as you find the area, it's just you, right?
I don't think anyone... I haven't stealthed my way out, so anyone should have heard me going, but if no one...
Did anyone want to see who was leaving the tavern?
So John knows.
John knows. I don't know if he wanted
John
to
knows
join.
No,
nothing.
he didn't. He didn't.
Dare is assuming that if no one came to get her, that it's private business.
Okay.
Marek is asleep.
Oh, and I'm on my own.
You enter a very fancy-looking manor. You notice that the gate was opened itself for you as you approached. And you notice an elf making his way towards you. You see him walking with a staff with some blooming flowers.
Can I insight in?
Yeah,
I
sure.
don't think that bone calf would be very keen on just walking towards him with a staff. Insight. I roll a 15.
You don't feel like he's trying to hide anything. He definitely doesn't really have any ill intent towards you. He has a fairly neutral face, but he's also just looks very relaxed in
I
general.
do grab my shield, but I keep it very relaxed. It's more like if he has a staff, I'm going to take my shield kind of thing.
He gives you a small bow. And then he says, "Good evening. My name is Milano Fellbranch. I welcome you to the Emerald Enclave. As you can see, not many people are awake during this time of night, but a fair lady does not require such needs. So you may come speak with her right now if you so wish."
Why, I have been asked to come by this lady, I suppose, then?
Ah, if that is the case, then please come in.
And you told me your name, but I have no memory for names. I apologize in advance.
So he takes you into this very ostentatious mansion. Feel a tiny bit out of place.
Tiny
here.
bit?
Just a tiny bit. However, you do notice a very nature-ish motif throughout the artwork, the design. You see little leaves carved into the wood. It actually doesn't look that carved. It might have been made through some sort of druid craft.
Can I look at that to determine whether it is in fact carved or magical? Because I know my carving.
Yes, you do know your carving. Roll perception at advantage. Or actually, nature at advantage.
Ooh. Nature. What's my nature? Can't it be perception?
Okay, it can be perception.
Nature's
Sure.
a +1. Perception is a little bit better. The 21.
You know, given your time with tools in the carving nature, you know that either someone did it with extremely detailed and fine tools, or it grew that way. So as Milanor is guiding you through the house, he walks with a very relaxed stride, almost graceful in a sense. And as he's walking, he says, "The name of our leader is known as Jareth Falcon. They are this is a very complicated term, but I believe what most would call a demigod of sorts.
I see.
However, they've contained themselves to this particular area. You see, our organization focuses on maintaining the balance of nature.
And in what way? What do you consider balance?
Okay, so Melanor replies with, well, we seek to snuff out any forces that impose their own rules upon things that aren't prepared to handle them or things that should not handle them. We seek balance in the sense that anything that goes against the ways of nature should be snuffed out.
I see. Does your leader objective, I forget her name all the time. I do not remember names.
He leans into you and then like he shows you his hand and he has the name written down there in pen.
I quickly take it over. So in that case, can I get the exact spelling?
Oh yes, Falcon. These names are written so elven-like, I'd say.
Wow, that was.
They don't know what F is, only PH.
That explains the name of this place.
He takes you into a room.
It was a lady, right?
It is female.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see what she looks like. Okay, so you enter this room and you see only really a very grand chair. It looks like it's made of roots and branches and leaves, and lounging on it is an Eladrin woman. She has this very somewhat unsettling gaze to her, sort of as if she's barely there. In fact, it looks less so much as a person and more like some sort of puppet or a vessel that something else is using. And as you approach, she glances at you, and as she speaks, the voice sounds like it's coming in all directions. Bone carver, I presume.
Yes. In which manner do you desire to be addressed?
Just Jareth is fine.
I look up my hand. All right, Gareth.
I am aware that most cannot remember names of this nature.
I cannot remember names of any nature. Ask my friends.
You see the woman stand up. Her movements suddenly become graceful, and as she walks towards you, she stops a few feet away. Do you know why I requested you in particular?
Not per se.
It is because I see certain aspects of nature within you, Bone Carver. Granted, they are predatory aspects, but aspects of nature nonetheless. I feel as if you in particular would be willing to help maintain the balance of nature out here in Waterdeep, where it frequently goes awry.
Yes, I've been told by the other guy that you maintain balance and do take actions against unnatural forces, but I find it hard to get to grips with the concept. Could you give me an example of what you do?
How about this? I'll give you the job that I have to offer should you join us. You see, outlying farms are being terrorized by a scarecrow that has come to life. It has slaughtered livestock, chased horses, and spooked the farmers. No people have been killed as of yet, so the city guard is dragging its heels on the matter. I need someone to take care of it.
Both our carvers actually thinking about that. As am I. Would my character actually be interested in that? Yes. I think I would.
All right. The rules of our organization state that to undertake this, you must be part of our members. So, should you choose to join, you have the Emerald Enclave here as a sort of sanctuary to come back to whenever you desire, you and your allies, even if they are not part of the organization. I also grant a boon to those who wish to join us. A bit of a charm, you might say. It grants you the ability to cast a spell that can restore certain ailments or curses from...
At the mention of that, you actually see something like the closest thing Bonecarver would ever get to greed. Like, he really, really wants that. But at the same time, also is calculating, like, should I, shouldn't I? He's going to ask one more thing. My allies have been of great help, and I know I would disorder at least one of them if I didn't ask if there was any payment involved.
At later stages. For now, we could say this is a bit of a trial period. Do this for me, and later down the road I'll have a job for you that will pay rather well and go up in our ranks, and you will get even more rewards. Also, I can offer my services to you, depending on the request, but I myself, as a being of great power...
And you are a... Okay. And you are a legal corporation, right? Not corporation. Group.
The city guard sees us as mostly those that obsess over animals and their well-behavior and their well-treatment. They don't really heed us much mind.
Yes. Because I believe that at least one of my companions does not want any more trouble. So... Not getting...
You're so considerate.
Yes, actually, Bonecarver is very considerate.
I will mention that several of these jobs might involve you to kill aberrations of nature.
We have done so already, but I guess you already know that.
That I do.
He was more referring to the law side of trouble.
I assure you that we will not ask you to do anything that you would not want to do, and if it were to come to that, you are free to reject the proposition.
Very well. Then you shall have my aid.
Then you shall have my boon. And then she takes your hand.
Brave woman.
And you see vines coil out from her arm to yours, and a small bracelet of flower petals forms around your wrist, and then it vanishes. And you feel within yourself a sort of magical effect that you can bestow on people. It feels like a one-time use, somewhat one-time use, and I'll give you the details for that in a little bit. Mm-hmm. But it's a boon of restoration nonetheless. And with that, Jareth says, there will be more boons in the future concerning this, should you ever require it.
Excellent.
Welcome to the Enclave.
Thank
now, I understand it is late, so you can undertake the task perhaps sometime tomorrow.
I shall do that.
And so I'm just gonna paste the quest she has for you.
Yes, I'll copy that in my bio somewhere.
And what you have gained is the Charm of Restoration. I'm just going to copy that as well. So, this charm allows you... No, wait. This charm has 6 charges. You can use an action to expend some of its charges to cast one of the following spells. You can cast Greater Restoration by using 4 charges, or Lesser Restoration using 2 charges. Once all of its charges have been expended, the charm vanishes from you.
More healing! Yay! Nice.
But yes, while Greater Restoration and Lesser Restoration do not heal, they do remove really nasty status effects.
That's also very helpful.
So it is very nice to have it at this level.
Yes. Well, I guess to really finish off the day, I'll have to get back and pass John again.
Yes.
Is John still awake?
You will find John still awake, very deep in thought, still.
It's midnight, by the way.
Are you back already?
So,
What time is it?
it is midnight. What is bothering you, Telltales?
You know, I've been thinking and I've been feeling really, really bad about what happened, you know, with us getting the inn and all instead of reward, and it, you know, being my fault. And I want to make this right. So I was thinking I really want this tavern to be a success, and I was thinking maybe I could bring my family over and they could help out. I mean, if we clean this place up a bit, it's a really nice house and home as well. It would make it easier on us, I feel.
You could have them run the tavern while you guys are out doing your things.
Yes.
I think that would be beneficial regardless whether it's your fault or not.
nice way to dodge that.
Okay.
But just remember, it might not be your fault completely. And with that, he just runs off the back.
Completely. Oh, I was drunk. Were you drunk as well?
I think he's gone from the room.
Bone Cover, what do you mean? Knocking on the door?
You hear this deep sigh, like, Follow didn't have any money.
Oh my.
The inn was the only option.
I still agree to it while drunk, so...
Well,
Yeah,
you weren't drunk,
very
your
drunk.
brains were sucked out.
Wait,
Hardly your fault.
what? You mean I've been agonizing for the past day? My brain's got... What are you talking about?
Wait, you honestly don't remember getting attacked
John,
by the brain thing?
Roll
Sorry,
wisdom.
roll.
Roll wisdom.
Because Bonka was still fully
That's a 14.
thinking that you knew about
Okay.
Devourer.
You suddenly remember the horrifying image of the brain frog and how when it moved it kind of sounded like a lettuce being tossed downstairs, like that little crunchy noise. That's the sound it made when it moved and when it leaped on your head. And then you suddenly remember what it feels like for your mind to just go blank. And that's all you remember of that scene.
Okay, so Bone Carver, you notice that John's pupils are kind of dilated, and that his mouth is frothing at his mouth.
Like, your mind doesn't go blank,
know,
you just
I know,
remember
I
what
just-
that
I
felt
just-
like.
Remember this traumatizing experience.
I just tap him on the forehead. Hello? Telltales?
I think I remembered something I really, really did not want to remember. I feel
Sorry. You should lay down.
yes, maybe I should. Have a good night, Bone Carver.
You do.
Oh, Bone Carver said goodnight. And with that, Bone Carver learned what it meant to feel.
Mostly feel worried though. And slightly guilty, yes. Yes, quite a bit guilty actually.
And with that, we will close today's session. Thank you very much, audience, for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And we'll see you next week. I don't know how to sign off anymore.
Until
I need
next
to come up with
week.
either a new one.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye-bye.